Hello, hi everyone. Thank you, nope, nothing here. How's everyone going today? Hey, runaways. Is everyone having a good weekend? Good to hear it. Mine's okay, thank you. Have you missed me? Of course. Been working on dolls for a while? Good to hear. No, I buy the dolls. They're Monster High dolls. So I just take all the factory paint off and all their factory hair. Well, most of the time I take their factory hair out as well. And I just repaint them and reroute them. It is a zombie bite. I don't know if it's really looking like a bite though, so I need to work on the shading a bit more. You're lost in Walmart. We don't have a Walmart here, so I can't quite sympathise with you on that one. I'm just trying to darken up the bruises and the blood marks on this zombie. Yes, I do know you can save it now. Thank you, Aggressive Barbie. Oh my goodness, it's early. Alright, so I was working on this leg yesterday or the day before, or I don't know, can you even see it? My lights are glaring on my screen, so I can't quite see what I'm showing you. And this is why, let me show you, this is why I hate working on the body parts. Can you see this little scratch? Can you guys see that at all? I don't know if you can. That happens often when after you spray the leg and you work on it. So I hate working on the body parts. So when people ask me for tattoos and body blushing and things, I don't like it because it scratches so easily. But for some reason, I still do it. I guess it creates just another dimension for the dolls. Yeah, it's not fun. So I just want to, I'm just working on that arms and the leg, one leg, because I couldn't get the other leg out. The Reboot dolls, their joints are a lot thicker and they're a lot more difficult to get out. So I'm only working on one leg. She's going to have one leg that's normal and one leg that's all banged up. If I save it, where am I going to post it? I have no idea. I want to check the quality and see what it's like, and maybe I might post it on YouTube if it works. You know, because so many people ask me about a YouTube channel. What doll is this for? This is for my zombie doll. I've been working on her for a while and she was finished, except I thought she looked a little bit bland. She didn't really look zombie enough, so I thought I would I would give her some bruises and stuff. So she's almost finished. I think this layer is looking a lot darker than the first one did, so I might not have to do any more after this one. I was thinking about it. I kind of have started on the hand, but I don't really want to do too much with this doll. I think I'm going to leave her just like this, but I've got another two zombie dolls that I'll be working on as well in the future, so I might attempt to do more details with those ones. Because I wanted to, so these dolls are going to be, if I get accepted into Comic-Con, these dolls are going to be for Comic-Con, and I wanted to have a variety of prices. So I didn't reroute this one because I wanted to make her a little bit cheaper, I suppose. So if I start doing too much detail on her, then it's just going to up the price of her anyway, so I've already spent a lot of time on her. So I think I've just ruined my plan. What time is it where I am? I think it's about 1 in the afternoon on Sunday. 1? Yeah, 1:15. RuPaul's Drag Race. I have not. It's early on Sunday and it's 9 p.m. where you live. Yeah, I tend to, this is the best time for, well, so far I've found that this is the best time for me to do lives during the day. It doesn't work nighttime for me. I get maybe 5 views, if that. So this always seems to be the best for me, but I'd like to try doing it maybe even earlier at my time. So we'll see. I'll give it a go one day. Oh, thank you. I was pretty excited. I just got my book done the other day, and that was really fun to see, all printed up and everything. I created a book kind of like, I guess like a portfolio, but it's more of like a picture book. And I was pretty excited to see how it looked. And yeah, it looks really good. I don't know if you guys caught it on my story feed. I flicked through it pretty quickly. But it's like a kind of like a coffee table kind of book. Just pictures to look through. Where do I get the bases of my doll? What do you mean the bases? As in just the Monster High dolls, or the theme of them? What do you mean? Can you share any tips on body blushing? Oh, thank you. Body blushing, I guess I've had to learn the hard way. This isn't the way to do it. I think it might be best if you have an airbrush. I don't know how to use an airbrush, and I don't even have one. So that's why I do it with the pastels, but like I showed earlier, it scratches really, really easily, so it's not ideal. Yeah, I'd probably strongly suggest learning how to use an airbrush and doing it that way. I don't know if that really looks like a bite. I don't really know how to do bites. Yeah, airbrushing, it's intimidating for me as well, so you're not the only one. But I've seen the results, and the results look really, really nice and smooth. I'm not sure of what the preparation is for it though. So, I mean, it could be the same where it scratches off. I don't actually know. I think Lady Spoonart does airbrushing. And I think Scarosities does as well. So always, I think, feel free to ask them. I'm sure they'll welcome your questions. You can tell it's a zombie bite? Oh, well that makes me feel better, thank you. Because I've been staring at it for a while and I don't know if I can see that it's his bite. But before I go too multicoloured on her leg, I think I'm going to just leave it there. I think that's enough. Now onto her hands. I wanted to make them look really, really dark, but the problem is it blends in too much on her dress. So, can you see that? They don't really stand out enough, so I don't know, we'll just keep on going anyway. I don't know if this brush is working. How long does it take to make a full doll? The time really varies just because each doll's very different. So I can't really give you an estimated time. I guess if you think about it, it takes for just one colour hair, it takes between 6 and 8 hours to reroute. If I do more than that, so the Galaxy doll that I did, I think that took me about 15 hours on one doll, even though I did 2 of them. And then you've got, because with the repainting, so for example, I just did this one, and I got my husband to spray it for me. So all I do is just the shadows, like the shading. That could take me about 10 minutes, and then you spray, then you've got to wait for it to dry, and then you draw on the eyes, and depending on how good you are with eye shapes, it takes me, I don't know, at least half an hour to get the eyes on. And then again, and that's just the shape of the eye, that's not the detail in it, so then you have to spray it and wait again. So it's a long process, and because you've got so many waiting in between for things to dry, I honestly can't tell you. It really depends on if I'm in a good mood and it works and I can draw the eyes on easily, or if I'm struggling that day, or yeah, it really depends, but the time does add up. I know one of my dolls I did count, and it took me about 25 hours all up creating her. So yeah, it varies. Face Off. Sort of. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it, so I don't really know what it's about. Do you do the dolls one time only? Or yeah, I like to keep my dolls one of a kind, so if I do repeats of them, I'd like to make sure that there's differences between all of them, so you can always tell which doll is which, and you won't confuse them with each other. So I don't particularly like redoing the same doll, because it's boring. It's not very challenging if you create the same doll over and over again. So I know I've done 3 bells, where I did the peasant belle, I did the belle in the yellow ball gown, and then I did the belle with the scars. So I try to make them completely different from each other. but still sort of the same kind of character. I'd really like a twin that you make. They were beautiful. Ah, thank you. Alright, so I should check it out. I'm not sure if we get it here, so I'll have to see. Thank you very much. I do like doing the creepy dolls. I do have another creepy doll planned. She'll be sort of along the lines of the twins, but obviously there'll be differences. I haven't had an opportunity to do the boy dolls yet. Like I keep saying, they're actually really expensive here, and they're quite rare as well to come by secondhand. So it's, yeah, I haven't really had an opportunity yet, and I actually really like doing the female dolls because I find them, there's a lot more to them. What? Okay. There's a lot more to the female dolls, and I really like the femininity of them. So you can create them in so many different characters, whereas I feel a little bit restricted when it comes to the male dolls. But I'm not going to say no that I'll never do them. I'd like to one day because they're still a challenge. I do enjoy repainting the mermaid dolls. I think that they're a lot of fun, and I absolutely love mermaids. So I'll never say no to a mermaid doll. How long have I been repainting? Since September of 2015. You've got heaps of Monster High dolls that you don't know what to do with them. I would love them, but depending on where you are, it could be quite expensive to send them to me. I do not make dolls. I don't think I have the patience to do it. I mean, I've got patience to repaint them, but making them, I don't know, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to them in the first place, so I think making them would freak me out a little bit. Oh, you're in Australia? Oh, then that would be awesome. I'd be happy to pay for postage. Alright, I think that hand's okay. What do you reckon? Is that coloured enough? Dark enough? Gross enough? I still don't like zombies. Still not a huge fan of this doll. I have recreated Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Already done. She's for sale in my Etsy shop. Thank you. Did you ever finish The Bride of Frankenstein? She's finished. She's just waiting for her dress. So, yeah, I'm a bit sad she isn't like done. So yeah, I guess that's one of the main problems with not being able to sew is having the dresses commissioned and having the clothes commissioned by someone. Like, the postal system is just insane, and also I guess the amount of time that it takes to make the dress as well, and whether or not they're busy with commissions too. So that's the That's the only drawback to not really being able to sew. What other forms of art do I do besides repainting dolls? I haven't for a long time, but I used to love watercolour painting and sketching. I actually have quite a few of my paintings and drawings posted on Instagram, but they're like much earlier posts. And that's pretty much how I got into painting the dolls, is because I concentrated so much on the drawing and painting and understanding, I think, the depths of eyes and how to make eyes look more three-dimensional than really flat and surprised all the time. So that was a really good way of me being able to start repainting dolls and having an understanding and getting them looking a little bit more than just surprised. Because I know that that's an issue for a lot of people when you draw eyes, not understanding the depth that and the shadows that are needed. So I did that, and I'm a graphic designer by trade. So that's how I've managed to build my brand and my logos and everything. So I pretty much am, my life is immersed in art, and I own quite a lot of paintings as well. So yeah, I've always loved art. So that's pretty much, yeah. Okay, now I'm trying to make this little open wound bit look better, because I think it looks a little bit just too drawn on, so just bear with me. I'm trying to do it so that you can see, but so I can see at the same time. Do I do doll requests? Requested dolls? Do you mean customs or just dolls that people say, oh, you should do this? Because I get both, but at the moment my my custom spaces are closed, just because I've got a huge project on at the moment that I need to concentrate on, so I can't really afford to take time away from it. Are there any dolls you love too much to let go of? There certainly are. I guess I surprise myself sometimes when I make dolls, and I think, did I really do that? Okay, she came out way better than I expected. So yeah, sometimes I keep them. That's awesome. I knew you had an art background. You're so good at repainting considering you've only been doing it for 2 years. Oh, thank you. Actually, it's not 2 years. It's really just a year and a bit at the moment. So, but yeah. The dolls that people say you should do. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't always like it. I guess because I feel too pressured. So when I create my art, I like to create it because it's something that I feel and something that I want to do. So yeah, sometimes I feel a bit pressured, which is probably weird. So I mean, if it's been repeated heaps of times, and I think, well, obviously there might be reason to do it. But sometimes if I've never heard of it, then I'm not going to repaint it, because I don't know, it just I have a lot of people asking me to do YouTubers that I've never heard of, and I don't know, and they're just I don't know if I do them if they will sell, you know. So I'm more inclined to do it for a custom order, because then obviously someone wants it. But if it's just a random person that I've never heard of, then I don't really think that there's much benefit in creating it. I don't just give my dolls to people for free just because they're famous. I think that's a waste of time and money. Where in Australia is my shop? I don't have a shop. I only have an Etsy store. Not weird at all. I mean, art is form of freedom. Doing what people tell you to do defeats the purpose of art. It does make sense, and I completely agree with that. But I still get a lot of pressure, you know, so it's weird. I don't really want to say no, but at the same time, you know, it's constructive to listen to what people suggest. So I won't say no. I'll always take their suggestions. Whether or not I follow through with them, though, is maybe another story. I don't want to offend anyone either, so you know, so it's hard. How much are they? They're all different. They vary in price. So if you want to visit my Etsy store to see some of the prices, just go to the link in my bio and you can go straight there and have a look. Depending on the amount of work that's involved in each one, actually means that there's different prices. So they're not all the same price. Yep. Can I do another Melanie Martinez doll? No, thank you. One was enough. Can't wait what to see you come up with. You're an amazing artist, especially the Harley Quinn repaint. Have you considered doing any other Suicide Squad characters? Thank you so much. Actually, I've done the Enchantress doll, and I absolutely loved her. I thought she was so much fun. And 4 Harleys was a lot of work. But for this Comic-Con, I can't really say no to doing any more Harleys, so I am actually doing the red and black Harley, and I am doing another Suicide Squad one, but please don't get excited about that because I'm not a fan of doing it, but I know the audience that's going to be there is interested, so that's why I'm taking them. But if they don't sell, then I'll put them up on my Etsy store. What is the main price of everything? There is no main price. Like I said, you need to check out my store. Everything varies. It varies completely. Oh yeah, I totally understand. I think it all comes down to filtering what's important and what will make you grow as an artist. Exactly. The Enchantress looks perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Cece. I'm in need to go now. I hope you have a good night and day. Oh, thank you. You too. Whoops. I'm just throwing her arm around. Who needs an arm, right? So yeah, I have to admit, after creating like one character so many times, you really do get sick of it, which is, I know it's sad, and it's disappointing because sometimes I really want to be able to do more, but I am only one person and I can only do so much. That's the frustrating thing. I really want to do more, but yeah, I just seem to be quite limited. I don't know if that really looks like she's got bones coming out of her hands. Bones, I've added bones. I tried to add bones. I don't know if that's a good if that's a good way of adding bones, but that's what I've done. That's my bones. Have you considered doing X-Men characters? Have you looked at my my posts at all? I've done a lot of X-Men characters. So I'm going to get those. My husband, when he's done in the shower, I'll get him to spray those. And then she needs a couple of sprays on those, so, and then she'll be ready. Alrighty. I love watching you create dolls. It's so relaxing to watch. Aw, thank you. Oh, and you love hearing more about me? Really? Thanks. That's very kind of you. I knew as soon as I saw it, they were bones. Well, that is genuinely appreciated. I can't tell you how much, because sometimes I second guess myself. Actually, no, not sometimes. Most of the time I second guess myself. Alright, Mr. Pencil, where are you? Why? Oh, Okie dokie. You love X-Men and you love my... Thank you. I do too. I grew up on X-Men, so I love them. This may sound a little like a silly question, but would you ever do an anatomical mannequin like the ones you see in laboratories? I'm not sure I understand that question. Is Logan here today? I have no idea. I haven't seen him yet. Believe me, you'll know when he's here. What do you mean, those anatomical mannequins? I'm not quite sure. Alrighty. I'm just trying to get my reference images up. And that's wrong. Well, thank you so much. Like a Monster High repaint of a human cadaver. Probably not, because dead things usually creep me the hell out. So, it might be best for me not to do things that creep me out. Like that zombie was bad enough. Alright, I'm going to start the long process of attempting to draw the eyes on, so bear with me. This usually takes me forever. And the pencils are never sharp enough. Oh, there we go. I've already started ruining it. You're learning a bunch of body parts. No, that's fair. I have to admit, when you start learning things, you actually draw attention to them in your life, so it's not a silly question or anything. I get that. But I'm not sure that I'd be drawing one. I am working on a Harley. I'm not sure if I'm going to post finished images of her though, just because I don't want people to ask me for another Harley doll. When Graveyard Girl posted my Harley, I got so many requests for Harley dolls that I had to stop because there were way too many requests for her. So it was a little bit insane. Yeah, I'm only one person, so I can't really do that many dolls as it is, but doing that many of one is just, yeah, I wish I was Mattel, but I'm not. I think I'd need to have my own factory. Oh, that's not a nice shape, is it? Okay, let's start this again. Alright, I'm going to have to bring it closer to my face. They are very on demand, and you've got to think about, I mean, at the end of the day, I am sort of running a business, but businesses usually have to go towards what will sell. So the hard thing is to say no to something like that. But because this is an artistic business, it's hard to continue doing the one thing over and over and over again. Like, you know, it'd be like you going to school and your English teacher asking you to write an assignment and then, you know, about one topic, and then your history teacher asking you to write the same topic essay. So it's, and if every single class expected you to write the same kind of essay, it would end up you just die of boredom, you know, but having to tweak it a little bit, yeah, it would be really, really painful. So, sadly, I had to say no. So at the end of the day, I guess my business isn't really about the money, it's more about what I really enjoy. So, sadly, but we'll see. But like I said, if I don't get to go to Comic-Con, then all these dolls, I will put them up on my Etsy store, so they'll be available. So if that helps at all. Hey look, 2 different shaped eyes. This is ridiculous. The next thing you know, your makeup would look the same as Harley's. You know what? Mine isn't far from it with the amount of crying that I have to that I do with some of these dolls. So yeah, I feel her insanity sometimes. I feel like I can relate a little bit too much. Oh, that's a bit better. Oh, thank you, Psychotic Trash. Left eye looks good. Yeah, you know what? It will work because the amount. This is the thing. They don't all look perfect. They won't all always be perfect. But I guess for me, because of the type of makeup that I do, it doesn't really matter. Because you end up shading them and doing the whole smoky eye look. Because I love the smoky eye look. Don't know if you've noticed that. So in the end, you'll end up making them the same size anyway. Totally relatable. Do you make YouTube videos? I don't. I don't know how to use YouTube. Like I know how to search for videos and stuff, but I don't know how to post stuff on it. I don't know how to make videos interesting. I don't know how to edit videos. So, no. I'm sorry, I don't have any. But I'm going to see what the quality of these videos are like after I save them. And if they are okay, then I guess I'll see if I can upload them onto YouTube. I know the Facebook ones aren't great because I kept those and posted them as well. But the quality was really bad. So hopefully these aren't going to be the same. You love the hair, it's neatly parted. Thank you, I tried my best. There's a bit of a gap there, but you know, I'm not that perfect. Dude, all these videos are interesting as fuck. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. So I learnt a little lesson from Scarosities, because when she does lives, I like to ask her a gazillion questions. So I asked her. I can't even get my thought process. See, I can't do 2 things at once. Me talking and me doing something is 2 things at once, and I struggle doing that, so I'm sorry. But okay, so my question to her was, because my whole process was I would do the shadows. So as you can see, I'd do the shading on the doll, then I'd spray it. Then I'd do the shape of the eyes and the whites and then spray it. And then I'd add more details in as I went along and then sprayed. And the reason why is, oops, sorry, because it was like a save button. I know that if I draw anything else in her face, then I'll need to erase it. And then if I erase it, then the whole shape goes and, you know, that whole drama. So I asked her how she builds her colour, because she seems to be able to build her colour quite nicely, especially with the white Derwent colour. I've always struggled with doing the whites of the eyes. Like I used to wet the pencil, like wet the lead and paint it on, and then that never worked. Then, you know, trying to colour it on, it would end up scratching itself off. I've used so many different white pencils. So I've used the Inktense, I've used the Faber-Castell, And I even use these Faber-Castell, these pastels. So like I've struggled with the whites, and I saw her using just the Derwent watercolor, and her lines are also really quite smooth, and she gets so many layers of color on there. So I asked her what she does, and all she said is you just press really, really lightly. So the lighter you press, but you go over it more and more, it tends to build the color. So there's a tip for you if any of you guys want to do it. Just use your pencil really, really lightly. Do not press hard at all, because you just end up scratching the color off that you've just done. And the more that you're smoother with it and softer with it, the more layers you can do it at one go. I think with the zombie, I actually sprayed her. So I did her shading once and then sprayed it, and then I worked on the eyes. But throughout that whole process, I never actually sprayed her until the end, which is so weird, and for me, because I'm a control freak. So that was something that I learnt. But I think with these dolls, I don't want to. I really don't want to have to go over them again and again. So for safety, I will spray it at this point, I think, because it's just safer. Now, sorry, I've spoken so much that I've missed some of your questions. It'd be a huge help if I post it on YouTube. All right, well, let me see the quality of the video, and I will see how it goes before I post it. Honestly, this live stream is super relaxing just to see the process and getting to talk to you. Oh, thank you so much. Where do you find the dolls and the hair? The dolls, I do a lot of investigating and researching to find. A lot of people just think that it's an easy thing to just go, oh, well, clearly, you know, you just get dolls from wherever, but I don't. I look on a site called Gumtree, which is an Australian like garage sale kind of site. I go to garage sales, or I go to like the Salvation Army stores. I do check out eBay sometimes, depending on the doll that I want. At the moment, I'm running out of Spectras and I need some more. So she doesn't seem to be easy to find right now. So I'm considering spending a little bit of money on getting some Spectras from eBay, which isn't always fun because they end up being around about $15, and that's a lot. So you've got to really shop around and know what you're looking for and how much you're willing to pay. I try not to pay any more than $10 for a used doll, because sometimes I can get them from Target for $8 brand new, but that's like a rare occasion. So yeah, I have a budget. If they're usually more than that, then I won't buy them. Really depends on if I need the doll or not right then and there. And the hair I get from the Doll Planet or Retro Dolls US. What pencils and pastels are you using? I'm using Derwent watercolor pencils. I also use Derwent Inktense pencils, and the pastels I use are Schminke soft pastels. You should do a YouTube. Well, yep, I know, I've got to learn. Oh, thank you, Aggressive Barbie. Alright, so now for Harley, so there are Harley fans here, right? Now, I don't know what colour to do her lips and her makeup. I don't know if I should do the blue and red, or if I should do just black and red, or if I should do red with a bit of black smoky eye. And what colour lips should I do, black or red? Have you ever tried from dollyhair.com? I have not. So what's typical of Harley when she's wearing the black and red? What's her makeup usually look like? Because I've got some photos and they've got red and blue makeup. And some have red lips and some have black lips, so I really don't know what to do. The black and red palette. And the comic, her lips are usually red. Okay, done. Easy. See, this is so much easier now, because now I can ask you guys what I need to do. Black and red with black lips. Yeah. I think I like the red lips. I love your dolls. Oh, thank you. I sell them on Etsy. If you want to check out my shop, the link is in my bio. Alright, I'm going to do red lips. Okay, now, sorry, deep concentration now. Okie dokie. Sorry, just concentrating. So, and I think I'll do her mouth open, but I didn't really leave much room right there. Alright. I'm sorry, this one's not going to be for sale. Yes, it's Harley, but she's not for sale. She is going to Comic-Con with me if I get to go. So I'm very sorry. Oh, where's my grey pencil? Sorry. What?
I'm very sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying it to... I'm not apologising to you, honey. Are you going to any other conventions? No, this will be... I don't even know that I'll be accepted into this one because I have to actually apply and send them my my portfolio. So I don't know if I'll be accepted. If not, then the dolls will be for sale on my Etsy store, and I'll announce that. But yeah, so this will be my first one. So if I'm, hopefully I'll get accepted. Am I good at drawing too? Well, I started by drawing, so I've always been artistic in that way, and I've always drawn and painted, so I don't know if I'm great, but I'm okay. Thank you. Alright, I think she needs more of a bottom red lip. Have you ever created Tim Burton inspired dolls? Yes, I'm working on one at the moment. When will you know if you got accepted? I have to... application process hasn't opened yet. I've been stalking it for a while, so as soon as that opens, I'm going to apply. The convention isn't until July, so it's still a long way away, but that's why I'm working on all the dolls now, because I need a lot of time to work on them. Horrible at drawing, can't draw a straight line. It just takes practice. I wasn't always good. I tried really hard. I have drawn so much. I've got a lot of sketchbooks, so it takes a long time. It really does. Don't ever give up. It's just practice, honestly. I think for me, the way I improved was you practice on one thing at a time. So if you practice on an eye to start with, just practice on one eye, whichever's the easiest for you to draw. It could be the right eye, so draw the right one. And I guess for me, what I do is I break down every section into shapes, sections including the shading of the eye, the shines of the eye, the whites of the eye. You know, everything is a shape. So once you start drawing it and getting an understanding of the shapes that make up an eye, then you move on to the nose. So it's all, that's the way I've done it, and the way I taught myself. So I mean, it can take a little while, but you just have to understand it, or at least break it down in a way that you can understand it, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, just keep practicing. There's a tattoo artist that she also draws a lot. Her name is Callie Jo Art on Instagram. She's incredible. She is absolutely amazing. And I think I learnt that whole process from her. Is she would spend the day like 10 minutes drawing as many eyes as possible and stuff. So yeah, anyway, sorry. Okay, sorry, I'm just scrolling back. You should do a Coraline doll. I would think about it. How long does it take you to create a doll from start to finish? Depending on the amount of work that goes into each doll, every doll is different, so all of them take me a different amount of time. Oh, I know Coraline. It's cute. I'm not sure if it's something that I would create though. Are you working on any gaming-based dolls such as League of Legends or maybe Overwatch? I don't know characters from those, so probably not. Well, try the method. Sorry, I kept on bumping the phone. Try the method. I found it quite helpful, and that's what made me understand things. Thanks for the advice on drawing. I love your doll. Sorry, I said that a lot. I want to have high standards. Just like, oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. So now that I've done her lips, so what I'll do is I'll get husband to shade them, to spray her, and I'll start shading them as I go on. I just like having the base colour there, but she doesn't look as creepy as I wanted her to look. Uh-oh, too thick. Yeah, we'll get there. Alright, so I think she's done. You're connected to Ben, you missed your answer. I'm sorry, I don't remember the question you asked me. What do I use? Whoops, sorry, I'm going to keep on knocking the camera, sorry. I use Mr. Super Clear. Now, I know people like asking about cheaper products, but in this case, cheaper isn't better. Cheaper is a harder product to use, it's more difficult and it's not good quality and you don't get a good result. So if you actually want something proper that works, then Mr. Super Clear is the one that you need to use. You love my Jinx doll. Oh, she's from League of Legends. That was a customer order. She just gave me pictures and I just drew her from that. Do you only design Monster High dolls or do you do others too? I've only ever done one Ever After doll. Again, they're expensive dolls and I don't really have access to secondhand ones. You don't generally find them secondhand. So yeah, Monster High dolls are the easiest ones for me. Okay, aggressive Barbie, you have fun and learn a lot. How long it takes me to finish a doll. Because there's different details go into every single one, there is, just like the pricing, there's no specific time limit. It depends. If I reroute a doll, then it's, 6 to 8 hours if it's only one colour. If I use more than one colour, it can be up to 15 hours just for the reroute. You see the zombie doll, she's got so much designs on her face and on her legs and hands, so that's more than what the bunny doll was like. So they're all different, so I can't really give you an estimation. I think one doll I timed myself and it took me about 25 hours, but I think that can take me longer than that. What's this one going to be? This one is going to be Catwoman. I'm hoping. We'll see, but I've smushed her fringe, so I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But I had to spray her face somehow. So this one I've kept the factory hair. So what I like to do is have a range of prices in my Etsy store. So some dolls I will keep the factory hair if it's clean and not sticky, so that way it cuts down the price of the dolls as well. So sometimes I'll do that. Alright, here we go with the eyes again. Not my favourite. Okay, one. Let's hope I can do the other one. Whoops. I don't know why my eyes always look different. I have to admit, it is so weird drawing on a rounded surface. Oh, that looks okay. You love Catwoman? Well, I'm hoping this one's going to turn out. This is my first Catwoman. I ordered a doll, but I only ordered it with no clothes so that I can focus on the art part and get a little bit of the face paint on it. I'm going to use acetone to remove it. Yep, that's good. What do you use to remove the factory paint, or do you just repaint over it? No, you've got to remove the factory paint. As you can see, my doll face is a blank. So I remove the paint. I remove the factory paint. I remove it with acetone. Don't remove it with nail polish remover because that will just smudge it and it will be a nightmare to try and remove. It will take you a long time to do it. My favourite doll that I've made so far is my warrior doll. It's because she's a character that I created a very long time ago, and it was really